Then Mariah Smith comes. Mariah Smith was a big witness for the state, which is very odd. After we heard her testimony, it became extremely odd that they would call a witness like this. Whatever. That's on them. Mariah Smith gets up there and proceeds to tell this story like, yo, it was going like this. I was working there. We met up with them. Da, da, da. I just met them. Everything was good. We was living a good life. Everything was lovely. Next thing I know, this crazy stuff happens. I don't know what was going on. They threw me in the basement, locked me in the basement. I found a secret phone that they had down there, called my mom, told her I was locked in the basement. When I called my mom, she said the homicide detectives was at the house. They were screaming. She was screaming at me saying the homicide detectives. I told her, hey, come get me out of this basement over here. So the whole story didn't make sense at all. Didn't make sense at all. I don't know if they brought Mariah Smith up there just to like lie so that they could impeach her with the interview. I don't know what they wanted to impeach her with Hogan, so they just brought her up there because they knew she was lying. I have no clue. She said that this whole thing happened. She was trying to buy weed for some people she don't know. They drove across the street. Now, for the people that don't live in Atlanta and around people like stuff like this, when she's saying like this weed was literally across the street, you got to understand. In Atlanta, they say stuff is around the corner, across the street, down the street. They say that it's not literally like. If they had to get in the car to drive across the street, that tells you that they were going somewhere else. They probably was in one apartment complex and it was probably across the highway from another apartment complex. That's probably what she meant. You know what I'm saying? That's why you would have to drive to this thing. Because that's what they do. They say stuff is close and it really don't be close at all. Like that's just how they talk in the South, I guess. I don't know. They definitely talk like that in Atlanta. They say stuff is down the street and it's like you have to drive 10 minutes to get there. But anyway, so that's why if you don't understand why she would be saying we're driving across the street, that's why. Because this is Atlanta and that's how they talk. Now, Mariah Smith just tells this whole wild story, right? We know it's wild, but we're like, dang, this lady is like really saying Lil Rod really came out there and just did that like that. That's crazy, right? And the whole case, Miss D. Williams had been saying, yo, Your Honor and jury, my client was convicted of this situation. He didn't even do that. So he's only in this YSL case because of that murder, but he didn't even do the murder. So we got to establish this. So now what the state messed up, right? The state messed up because they weren't able to get Lil Rod's conviction in just as it is, right? They couldn't get another jury's verdict or opinion in front of another jury. They had to pretty much reprove that he committed this crime. So with them saying, all right, we're going to bring the eyewitness back up. We're going to bring the detective back up. We're going to bring all they're having to reestablish that he did it. And what happened is there's a major difference here. Lil Rod clearly has a different legal team now than he had back then. The people that's involved now between Miss Abbasi and Miss D. Williams, which was a sleeper this week. I know some people, she was very robotic and she was clearly reading from a script that she had. She definitely sounds a little bit nervous, a little anxious. But her questions were on point. As far as let it be known, this girl is lying her ass off. You understand? She's lying crazy, right? So Miss D. Williams and Abbasi together, they about to get Lil Rod off his. Not only they gonna get him out of this, they about to get him off that first murder too, off the the conviction, the actual conviction that got him all that time. So the state really messed up when they decided that they was gonna try to reprove that. Right. And, that's probably why they tried to get that conviction in, because they just wanted to show the jury, hey, look, jury, he been convicted of this already. So y'all don't even have to really think about it. The judge told them y'all can't do that. Y'all have to reprove that. And they are doing a horrible job at that because the two people that they bring in to reprove it, Mariah Smith and Detective Hogan, both of them liars, proven liars. So Mariah Smith gets up there and she gets on cross-examination with Miss D. Williams, and Miss D. Williams is starting out real slow, real shaky. It's looking a little, all right, Miss Williams, what's going on now? And then she gets into it. So you said they had a third floor. She's like, I don't remember. But you said you was on the bottom floor and they locked you in the bottom floor. I don't remember. But then his mom came through the door on the third floor, huh? I don't remember. And then she just slow, because you're trying to figure out where's Miss Williams going with this at first. Then you realize, oh, she said this is where it really set it off at, right? She said, so you went and got in the car with BJ, right? And y'all went to drive across the street to get weed. Y'all pulled up. Brazy jumped out the car. Tahira jumped out the car, went to go get the weed. Then she came back to the car, you said, and came to get you and told you that somebody wanted to talk to you. She said, yeah. She said, and you went to go talk to somebody in the area you don't know, talking to people you don't know. You got out the car to go do that? She said, yeah, I did. I didn't know what was going on. I was scared of what might happen. That right there shows that she was part of what was going on, but it also shows that she was lying, because what do you mean you were scared of what was going to happen? What you think was about to happen? You must have known what was about to happen. So then she says, yeah, and when me and her got out the car, I seen Biley and Lil Rod running towards the car shooting. She said, that's what you saw? She said, yeah, that's what I saw. She said, she gave her a piece of paper, said, yo, show me where you were standing at. Show me where they were standing at. Show me where the car was at. Show me all this stuff. Just put it all, like put stickers on this paper. Show me everything. Miss D. Williams got at her, man. Let me see what clip I got of this. Miss D. Williams making Mariah the biggest liar in history. Let's see here. Yeah, Reign Supreme. She said she was scared. What were you scared of?
And that's the first time anybody ever heard about you being trapped on this bottom floor, correct?
No.
Who'd you tell?
I told the police.
You told Detective Hogan?
No, I told the police when they came to get me, where I was, inside the house.
So you told them on the way to the police station that you were trapped in a house?
No, I told my mom over the phone.
You told your mother?
Yes, that's how the police knew where I was.
Okay.
Okay, easy lie right there. She said, yo, the first time you told somebody you was trapped in the basement was when you got on the stand, right? She said, no, that wasn't the first time I told somebody. She said, who you tell? She said, I told the police. She said, you told the police? When'd you tell the police? She said, I told them when they came and got me. She said, you told them when y'all was on the way to the police station? She said, no, I told my mother. Well, you just said you told the police. Now you saying, no, I told my mother. She said, no, I told my mom. That's how they knew where to come get me. So, odd, you know, very odd. Let's see what else. What else was Miss D. Williams getting into?
And did Detective Hogan bring that up during your interview?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
So would it refresh your memory to look at your prior testimony from your prior hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To myself?
To yourself.
Elvira Ward. Yes, that's what she said. Elvira Ward, I think I'm reading your name right. A Ward said, didn't she say they let her out the basement, that everybody started to run, and that's how she got caught because she didn't run? Yes, that's exactly what she said. She said she was the only one that didn't run. That's exactly what she said. I'm going to tell y'all something about Miss D. Williams, right? Because you hear her voice and she's so soft-spoken. She sounds so nice. She sounds all of this, and she's clearly, you know, a little bit younger in the game. But the mind is there. It's just that she just a little bit like doesn't sound that confident when really cross-examining. Right now, I'm sure she'll get more of that dog coming out later. But the questions, the script that she put down for herself, that was on point. That was on point. The mind is there for sure. She been, like I said, she's been saying since opening statement, my client didn't even do that. And guess what? She's about to be able to show that her client didn't do it without her client having to snitch on Biley. Now, that's a cold lawyer right there. When your lawyer can get you off without you even having to tell on somebody else. I could have been there the whole time. I don't have to tell who did it. I'm just about to show y'all that he didn't do it. Cold. Don't sleep on the lady. Cold piece. Oh, I'm tripping. Got to cover that up.
I looked at it.
Did that refresh your memory?
Yes, it do.
So you never told anybody that you were trapped in that basement?
Yes, I did. I told you I told my mom.
And yesterday was the first time anybody heard about Bali attacking you, correct?
Correct.
So she said Bali attacked her. Now, why she added that piece and she never said that before is odd. Like Miss D. Williams about to start. She this was so appalling that she had to start counting on her fingers for this one.
Or just look at, so I know that you're done.
Oh man.
You're in that basement?
Yes, I did. I told my mom.
Okay. And yesterday was the first time anybody heard about Bali attacking you, correct?
Correct.
You kept that secret for about, 2019, 20, 21, 22, like 5, 6 years?
Correct.
Okay. And you would agree with me that you changed your past testimony several times about who had a gun that night?
No.
All right, so we got it established. Mariah Smith was lying crazy, right? She was lying crazy. My God. Let's see what Abbasi. So then they get Detective Hogan up there, right? Dang, I think I freaking. Oh, I know. I didn't take any video screenshots of Hogan because what Abbasi did to Hogan was something that you had to just. It was a whole thing. It wasn't just like one specific piece that you needed to see. It was an entire like masterpiece of just Hogan did not investigate this thing at all. Not only did he not investigate, right? Come through, like, check this out. When Mariah Smith first gets in the interrogation room, right? They're telling her, first of all, she was also lying about how they got her, right? They didn't go find her in Lil Rod's basement or in Bali's basement. Detective, the whole APD or whatever, they went to the scene. They helped the victims or whatever like that, took them to the hospital. One had passed away at the scene or whatever like that, right? Or one, he passed away, maybe at the hospital, at the scene, whatever, right? So Detective Hogan, the first place he went was to the hospital to talk to the victims. He went to go talk to the victims first, right? And he said he didn't get to the scene till like 6 a.m. So there was nobody there still. Like Mariah wasn't there, locked in no basement, like that didn't happen, right? So he gets there, he goes to talk to Mitchell, right? Mitchell, and then I think they said BJ, right? Because Jamari Holmes was the one that got killed. So BJ, whatever the other one was, right? Sorry, forgetting their names. He went to talk to them. They tell him the story. They like, yeah, we seen whatever we seen, you know, whatever. But essentially they told like, yo, we was chilling with Mariah and Brazy, right? So at some point then later in the morning, right? He said he talked to them around breakfast time. Then he said he went to Mariah's house before lunch, right? Went to go get her, went to go talk to her or whatever. And then she came out to the police station voluntarily, right? So that was before lunch. So this is morning time. So it wasn't like, yo, they just went and snatched her up out of a basement or wherever like that, right? They talked to her and then they went and found Lil Rod and Bali and them later, like after the fact. You know what I'm saying? They talked to her. She goes up in the interrogation room and she's in the interrogation room at first telling them BJ is the one that shot his homeboy. She's like, they in the car and the homies is in the car and they started, you know, one of them in the car shot the other one in the car. That was the story she told him at first, right? Then the cop is like, yo, stop lying. Like, we already know that that's not the truth. Figure out what the truth is and tell it to us, right? So then she changes it like, all right, I'm going to tell y'all the truth now. What really happened is I get out the car and then somebody comes out the bushes and starts shooting them. And you know what I'm saying? It was one person. I don't know what happened, but I seen one person come out the breezeway and he was shooting. That's what happened. The cop is like, listen, man, either you get to start singing or you're going to go to jail with these fools, right? So this is happening between Abbasi and Miss D. Williams. So you start singing with them or you're going to go to jail with them, right? So she like, all right, I'm going to tell you. And this is what the cop tells her, right? She keep telling him it's only one gun. This is what the cop tells her. Listen, I know it's not one gun because the scene had 2 different types of shell casings. So she says, oh, where it was 2 different types of shell casings? Actually, you know what? It was Bali and Lil Rod. Both of them were shooting. The cop said, okay, Now we getting somewhere. Now I like this truth right here. He start Birdman hand rubbing. He says, now I like the truth that you're telling me now. You're saying that it was Bali and Lil Rod. I like that theory. This is pretty much what the cop is telling her. I like that theory. You're a smart lady now. Now you're going to get yourself out of trouble. You were telling us that first lie because you was just scared, right? Pretty much, right? You was fearing for your life. You was scared. She like, yeah. No, I was scared. I didn't know what to say. I was scared. I've never been in a situation like this before. So Abasi is asking Hogan, like, hey, Hogan, when she told you any of this stuff, did you go back and like try to verify any of it? He's like, she's like, yo, did you go look at where them shell casings was at? He's like, no, I didn't look at where the shell casings was at. I just took them. They just handed them to me and told me where it was at. They're like, so you never went and looked? She like, put the picture up on the board. She like, yo, this is the breezeway right here, right? Show me where these people were shooting from right here. Cause they said they was in some bushes right here. Show me where this AC unit in bushes is at. He look at the picture. He like, I don't see it. She like, yo, did you even look at the crime scene? He's like, I went out there, but I didn't map the whole thing out. I just went and looked around and listened to what they told me about it. I didn't really, do anything. She like, yo, did you go verify anything that Mariah Smith told you, or did you just take her word for it? He essentially just admitted that I just took her word for it, right? Whatever she told me, I just went with that. He didn't go check her Instagram records to see if she had been talking to anybody about this, about meeting up or doing any of that. They didn't check to go see like why would Lil Rod have a beef with anybody in that car? Why would Bali have a beef with anybody in that car? The only people that knew the victims was Mariah and Brazy. She was like, yo, did you even find out how Lil Rod knew them to figure out if he wanted to do anything to him? He was like, nah, I didn't. She told me that Mitchell took Lil Rod's gun. But Bossy said, did you go verify? Did you go ask Mitchell if he ever stole his gun from him? He was like, nah, I never went and asked him if there was a problem between them. So Abasi just established that, yo, you're lying. So here's the cold part right here, right? That everybody glossed over. I don't even know why Abasi didn't come back to this. The cop says there was a long gun and then there was a 9. So there was 7.62 bullets and then there was a 9mm shells out there, right? So they're saying like that means that there were 2 shooters, right? It must have been Bali and Lil Rod. Here's the cold part about it. We have evidence. We know who the second shooter was, right? Do y'all know? Put it in the chat. Tell me who the second shooter was. I'm going to see if y'all got the same second shooter I got. Put it in the chat, man. Who was the second shooter, y'all? Who was the second shooter? Put it in the chat because I have the screenshot proof to show who the second shooter was. Put it in the chat. Who was the second shooter, man? Dude shot back. Thank you, little folks. They put in the Instagram records. I'm going to put this over my own face. The guy is talking to one of the homies. He says, they came out of nowhere. We don't know what was going on. Brazy did XYZ, then we were shooting back. Mitchell even told the cop that he emptied his clip shooting back. Are we all following along? I put it's a highlight. They already had it highlighted, and this is an arrow pointing right to it. The second shooting came from the person in the car defending themselves. They said it in the Instagram records show it right there. Then we were shooting back. They came out of nowhere. We were shooting back. He said, I emptied my clip. That's what he told the cop. He told the cop he emptied his clip. Right? The person did come down the breezeway shooting the chopstick. True. But the person in the car tried to defend his honor and shot back. The reason that he's saying this on the Instagram, because he's trying to let it be known, we didn't let our homie just go out. We didn't just let him die and not do nothing. We was trying to shoot back, but they ambushed us pretty much, right? It was an ambush. The girls set us up and they ambushed us, right? And he says we were shooting back. Those are the 2 shooters right there. One on offense, one on defense. How? Now, somebody just put, how was Rod convicted with this evidence? I have no clue. That's why I was asking, who in the hell was defending him the first time he went to trial? Because all of this evidence was like, it only took Abasi and these are the state's witnesses, by the way. These are not even defense witnesses that's supposed to help out Lil Rod. These are the state's witnesses that helped out Lil Rod like this. It took Abasi and Miss D. Williams a total of like 2 hours worth of cross-examination to destroy that whole case. Right? So I have no idea how he was, I have no idea how he was convicted of that, but he was, but we already know he was probably convicted because Fulton County is dirty, the police dirty, judges dirty. You know what I mean? Like, they just wanted to lock a young dude up. They found that, hey, you was friends with somebody that killed somebody? Well, both of y'all are going to jail then. That's pretty much how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Black people can't be criminals. We also can't know criminals because we can go to jail for knowing criminals too. Y'all didn't know that? We can also go to jail for knowing criminals. And because, now, you know what they really punished him? They punished him because he wouldn't tell on his homeboy. And the crazy part is, had he told and said, yeah, he did it, he did the shooting, I was with him, but I didn't know he was going to do it, they still would have locked both of them up for the murder. And then one just would have been considered a snitch. But like I said, Miss D. Williams and Abbasi so cold, they about to get him off of that joint without him ever having to say a word about his homie. You know what I'm saying? Cold work. And he don't even have to testify to make it happen. So you got to really understand that the game is a crazy one. But we shot back. We was shooting back. That's your second shooter right there, Mr. Cop, Mr. Hogan. You coming up on the stand with your rodeo hat on? Who you was trying to impress up there, man? Because Abbasi made you look like a rookie cop. You're old, but she made you look like a rookie. She made you look like you should never have been a cop in the first place. Because you definitely didn't investigate that at all. The victims, the only people the victims knew was the girls. They didn't know who shot at them. And they even told, when the police asked them, do you know who shot you? They said, no, we don't know who shot us. We just know one of them was tall. That's all we know. Right? So it's a sick situation. But I think that Abbasi and Williams, they destroyed that whole murder case is done. That appeal is going to go straight through. Don't even worry about it.